Hello, boys and girls. It's Mr. Doug's story time again. Yay! And today we're going to read a classic. It's one of our favorites. It's called Strega. It's written by Tomie Paola. Now, it is one of our favorites, but we haven't read it for a really long time. Even when we were in school, we didn't read it for a long time. So it's definitely time to read it. It's called Strega. The author and illustrator is Tomie Paola. In a town in Calabria, a long time ago, there lived an old lady everyone called Strega, which meant Grandma Witch. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, they all went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went, because Strega did have a magic touch. You can see. All the people are talking about her, and look, this is Strega. And they all go to see her if they have a problem. These are some of the things that she could do. She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She made special potions for the girls who wanted husbands. And she was very good at getting rid of warts. So, she's making a special potion here to help this person get rid of their headache. She's helping this girl make a potion to find a husband. And she helped this man get the bump off his nose, which is called a wart. He left and he had no bump. So she was very good at solving problems. But Strega was getting old. And she needed someone to help her keep her little house and garden. So she put up a sign in the town square. The town square is where everyone goes and meets and does things together. Sometimes they play, a lot of times they talk. So it's kind of like the Red Park. And she put up a sign saying she needed help. And Big Anthony, who did not pay attention, went to see her. I'm going to read that part again because that's really important. And Big Anthony, who did not pay attention, went to go see her. Anthony, said Strega, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk her, and you must fetch the water. For this I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat. Oh, grazie, said Big Anthony. The one thing you must never do, said Strega, is you must never touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it. Oh, see, said Big Anthony. Yes, I understand, yes. See. And so the days went by. Big Anthony did his work. And Strega met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed. And he had food to eat. So here Strega is telling her what he must do and never to touch the pasta pot. And then here, he's doing all that work so that Strega can do her work. Well, one evening when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega singing. And peeking in the window, he saw Strega standing over the pasta pot. So he was getting ready to milk the goat here, and he heard something, and he peeked in. He was being sneaky. Peeked in to see what Strega was doing. She was singing, and she was singing over the pasta pot. So she sang, bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry, and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. When she says, I'm hungry and it's time to sup, that means it's time to eat. And after she sang the song, the pasta pot bubbled and boiled. and was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. You can see, there's Big Anthony looking at her say all that stuff. There's the pot, and it's starting to get bubbly and boiling. Then Strega Nona sang again. Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down, my pot of clay, until I'm hungry another day. How wonderful, said Big Anthony. That's a magic pot for sure. And Strega Nona called Big Anthony in for supper. But too bad for Big Anthony, because he didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot after she sang the song. So here she calls him in for dinner. And then she throws 1 kiss, 2 kisses, 3 kisses to the pasta pot. And that's, you can see, that's when it stops. You can see the pasta in that one, in that picture. But that's when it stops. So she sings a song and blows the 3 kisses. And Big Anthony was so excited, but he did not see her blow the 3 kisses. And this is what happened. The next day, when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch water, he told everyone about the pasta pot. And naturally, everyone laughed at him, because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked all by itself? Come on! You better go and confess to the priest, Big Anthony, they said. Such a lie! And Big Anthony was angry. And that wasn't a very good thing to be. I'll show them, he said to them. Someday I'll get the pasta pot and make it cook. And then they'll be sorry. So he went and told everybody in town about the pasta pot and how magical it was. And none of them believed him, so they were laughing at him, and he got, look at his face, really angry. He said, fine, I'll show them, just wait. Well, the day that he could show them came sooner than even Big Anthony would have thought. Because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, Anthony, I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden, feed the goat and milk her, and for your lunch there are some bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot. Oh yes, see, Strega Nona. So Big Anthony went inside and was thinking, my chance has come. As soon as she leaves, I can get the pasta pot and show everybody in town. And that's what happened. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside, pulled the pasta pot off the shelf, and put it on the floor. Now, let's see if I can remember the words, said Big Anthony. And he thought. And then he sang, bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup, boil enough pasta to fill me up. And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill up with pasta. So he said the words, and look, it's starting to bubble and boil. Aha, said Big Anthony, and he ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, everyone get forks and plates and platters and bowls, pasta for all at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot work. Well, of course, everyone laughed at him again, but they still ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls. And sure enough, when they got to Strega Nona's house, the pasta pot was so full it was beginning to overflow. Look, so there he goes and stands on the fountain and tells everybody to go get their bowls and platters and stuff. And they do, and they come and look at the pasta pot. Whoa, look at that. Can you see it? Wow. Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and platters and bowls. And there was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and the sisters from the convent. And some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings. They got seconds and thirds on that food. But the pot was never empty. Look at that. Oh, and look at, they're all happily eating. And the pot was never empty. When all had had their fill, when everybody had had enough pasta, Big Anthony sang the second song. Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. But alas, he did not throw the 3 kisses. So he went outside, and to the applause of the crowd, Big Anthony took a bow. He was so busy listening to the compliments from everyone about how good he had done that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling. Until a sister from the convent said, "Oh, Big Anthony, look!" And pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house. And it was even coming out the door. So he's singing, "Enough, enough, pasta pot. It's time to stop." And here he is listening to everybody give him compliments about doing such a good job. And look, it's coming out of the door. This pasta's still going. Well, Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the words again. "Enough, enough, pasta pot. I've had my pasta nice and hot, so simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." But the pot kept boiling. So he took the pot off the floor, but pasta kept on pouring from it. So he sang the song again. It kept boiling. Oh my goodness, so he picked it up off the floor, and look what happened. It's still going. And Big Anthony grabbed the cover, and he put it on the pot and sat on it. But the pasta raised the cover anyway, and Big Anthony as well, and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. Oh no, look, it's getting worse. He even tried the cover. Man, and that didn't even work. "Stop!" yelled Big Anthony. But the pasta did not stop. And if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony out of that house, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house. Out of the windows and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. Oh no! Well, the townspeople began to worry. "Do something, Big Anthony," they shouted. "Do something!" So Big Anthony sang the magic song again. "Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot, so simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. Please stop." But without those 3 kisses, it did no good. And by this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to keep ahead of it. "We must protect our town from the pasta," shouted the mayor. "Quickly, get mattresses and tables and doors, anything to make a barricade." Now, a barricade is a way to block off a street. They put all kinds of things in the middle of the road so that something can't pass it. But even that didn't work. Look, they piled the road high with tables and doors and mattresses, and that didn't work. You could see the pasta still coming out. The pot just kept bubbling, and pasta kept coming. "We are lost," said the people. And the priest and the sisters of the convent began praying. "The pasta will cover our town," they cried. Oh my goodness! I am so worried. And it certainly would have covered the whole town had not Strega Nona come down the road and home from her visit. She did not have to look twice to know what had happened. Look at all that. Oh no, but look, there's Strega Nona. Yay! So, Strega Nona sang the magic song, "Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." And then she blew the 3 kisses. And with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. So she blew 1 kiss, 2 kisses, 3 kisses, and it stopped. "Oh, grazie, thank you, Strega Nona," said the people. But then the people were angry, and they turned on poor Big Anthony. "String him up! Go get him!" the men of the town shouted. So they're very thankful, but then they're mad at Big Anthony, and they're going to get him. Look at how angry they are. They're going to get Big Anthony. "Now wait," said Strega Nona. "The punishment must fit the crime." That means that he has to make sure that the problem is fixed, and he's got to deal with whatever happens next. And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and held it up to Big Anthony. "All right, Big Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot. And I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So start eating." Excuse me? That is a lot of pasta. And he's going to eat it. And he did. Poor Big Anthony. Look, they're all the way by the house, but he still has a lot to go. Look at that belly. He is not feeling happy, is he? He's feeling sick. But there's only one little piece of pasta left, and Strega Nona is sleeping in her house. So he must have eaten all of that pasta. Wow, what a story. Strega Nona is quite the hero of the story. She is quite the grandma witch. And isn't it great that she could fix the problem? But boy, at the beginning of the story, we learned about Big Anthony, that he did not listen very well. He did not pay attention, were the words that Tomie de Paola said. And he did not, and that got him in big trouble. Wow. Well, this is the story of Strega Nona. It's by Tomie de Paola, and she has written a lot of stories, and she's written a couple more stories about Strega Nona. And if I can find any back here in my book room, I might see if I can read another one of them to you, okay? Thank you for listening, and you have a very good day.